All right, let's march on. And in terms of a prediction, I'm going to put one up right now. Pretty straightforward. Who wins? Will it be Houston or will it be Dallas in this rivalry? I will show you the Mavericks team, though, really quickly before we march on. Actually, I just want to look at the outright options, and I'll show you guys your stats from before. So this is the Mavericks team that you are up against. Mark McGuire. Mark McGuire, Karl Malone, Rolando Blackman, Larry Drew, Herb Hansen, who's generated. Hot Rod Williams is there, though. Reggie's mustache. That's a damn good team. Mark Price, also on that team. That, I told you guys, man, you have some tough competition in that Western Conference. Some very, very rough competition. And yeah, you'll get no disagreement from me that the yearly schedule is what destroys sports games. Looking at the numbers here, though, from the opening round, Patrick Ewing averaged 36 points a game with 18.5 rebounds against the Lakers. Mullen with 23 points. That is absolutely absurd. You guys play the Bird versus Magic era. Do everything you can to get Patrick Ewing. Everything you can. Because again, the gameplay styles change based off of what era you're in. So the 80s, it's still the era of the big man. And Patrick Ewing destroys worlds. DJ, thank you for the follow. DJ in London Bridges. Oh my God, the goodness. And by the way, for the Mavericks, 27 points from Mark, 21 from Malone. He and Herb Hansen each averaging a double-double. So there you go. Let's sim up the rest of the round. The Clippers will play the Trailblazers. You got the Bulls and Pistons, Celtics and Cavs. So the 3 and 2 seeds both fell on the eastern side of things. Just the first offseason draft, the Texans hit on 5 hits, including a 79-rated quarterback. Damn. I am still going to be playing Madden, by the way. We have our UDFA only challenge. We're still going to play that. I think some nights I'll start on Madden and switch over to this type of thing. So there you go. So let's see how this happens. Ewing against Malone. Houston versus Dallas. Game 1, best of 7. Let's see how this plays out. Game number 1. Strong start for the Rockets. Very strong start for the Rockets. It is a rout. 128 to 112. Rockets take game 1 behind 45 points from Patrick Ewing. 35 with 10 rebounds from Sampson. Sweet mother of God. Patrick Ewing cannot be stopped. He cannot be stopped. Unreal. 23 points. Wow, triple-double for Karl Malone. Didn't matter. Did not matter. Huge game from Karl Malone. And it didn't matter. Game 1 to the Rockets. Let's go to game 2. Game 2. Rockets and Mavs. Who is going to go to the Western Conference Final? This game's much closer. Much, much closer. And you guys pulled away at the end. I don't think there's any reason to jump in. I lied. Oh my God. They went on a crazy run at the end, but the Rockets hold on to win by 1. 119 to 118. Double-doubles for Ewing and Sampson in the paint. 21 points from Mullen. They made up a 7-point deficit in like 20 seconds. Fucking Reggie Miller, eat your heart out. Great game for Williams. But it's a 2-0 series lead for the Houston Rockets. Game 3. Let's keep it going. Why not? Let's keep it going. Again, looks to be a closer game. This time we've learned our lesson. As it gets down to the 4th, we'll keep an eye on it. And indeed, the final 2 minutes of this one will be interesting, as we'll see how it plays out. Ah, the old school Dallas floor. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We'll go into the middle. Make sure it's on broadcast, and here we go. So a 3-point lead for the Mavs late in the game.
Pippen feeling it out a bit.
Scottie Pippen.
There's a minute.
As Reed to his right, Pippen trying to drive, gets held up by Malone.
Pass to Reed.
Reed out for McMillan. Hand off for Bogues. Back out to Reed. 2 seconds. Muggsy Bogues from downtown. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Malone.
Leading by 3.
Dallas trying to make something happen fast, and they do. Hot Rod Williams. What a play. 5-point lead for the Mavericks. 1:05 to go. Tough spot. Down to Ewing. Misses. I think that's the first time since the multiple offensive rebounds we've seen Ewing miss. What a shot. I think that was Orlando. And Dallas looks like they're going to take game 3 after nearly taking game 2. Down to Ewing in the paint. Misses again. And if Patrick Ewing fails, so does the team. Rebounded by Malone. Putback is good, and the Mavericks are steamrolling. Absolutely steamrolling the Rockets here as the game winds down to a close. They don't have Mullen out there. Muggsy, you don't have time for this. Reed for 3. Can't get it to go. That's it. That is it. So the Mavericks, close game in the 4th, and they pull away. That is the game. And the series lead now 2-1 in Houston's favor. That's a rough loss, man. That could have been, really could have been the one. I mean, a 3-0 deficit. 3-0 deficit, I don't think they can come back from. What a game from Malone. What a game for Hot Rod Williams. 32 points for Ewing with 13 rebounds, but the help wasn't quite to the same level. So a big, big win there for the Mavs to try to stay alive. We'll go to game 4. Celtics up 2-0 on Cleveland. The Celtics, man, Larry Bird and company, they might not be done. Let's see what happens. What are the eras? It is Magic and Bird, starting in 83-84, Jordan in 91, Kobe in 2002. Those are the 3 eras, and then, of course, modern. Here we go. Can the Mavericks tie this up at 2 apiece in this best of 7? Or will the Rockets indeed put the pressure on? It's another close one. Let's jump in again. Why not? We'll follow along with it. Rough situation. Orlando Blackman at the line. Looks absolutely shocked that he's there. How will this affect LeBron's legacy? That's a good question. Here we go. Again, this is Chat's team. For those that missed the explanation earlier, what we like to do here is take control of one team in the East, one team in the West. I'm controlling the team in the East on this occasion in the Pacers. Chat's controlling the team in the West here, the Rockets. Ralph Sampson trying to make something happen. Gets it to fall from a tough angle. Don't forget about Sampson. So again, Chat works together to decide who you guys are going to draft, if you're going to accept a trade, the big free agent signing. Although in this era, very tough to make free agent signings. Karl Malone can't get it to fall as Askew is on the floor. Hands it over to Reed. Held up, down low. Askew gets it to go! Right in that man's face. Houston has a 1-point lead with under 40 seconds left. What a play by Askew. Mark Price, step back. Doesn't pull the trigger. Reed's right in his face.
There's a screen by Williams. Drew.
Mid-range shot doesn't fall. Pippen on the rebound, and he's fouled.
And again, they're not in the penalty yet.
It was looking a bit rough there for a minute, but all of a sudden, it's looking okay.
Yeah, all they can do is send them to the line and hope for some misses.
Now a timeout called
All right.
by Houston. They lead by 1. 2
Goodness,
seconds
goodness,
left in the fourth quarter.
I am not able to skip this. I hope we're not soft locked. Okay, good. There have been occasions in the past where the timeouts, if you go computer versus computer once you jump in, there have been times in the past where the game can freak out a little bit. Thankfully, we've seemed to avoided that for the most part so far with this game.
And Clark, they're holding on.
There's the inbound to Bogues,
You know, they want to build this
and Muggsy will go to the line.
more breathing room.
Muggsy will go to the line. I love the coach's attire fitting for the era. So, huge moment here for Muggsy. Interesting camera work.
It's the first, and that will put them up by 2.
Muggsy hit the first free throw. We didn't see it. See what I mean about it getting kind of bugged out sometimes. Second free throw from Muggsy. He hits them both.
3-point game.
3-point lead for the Rockets.
They're now up 3 with not much time left on the clock. What a performance.
Dallas calls
This
it.
one does it does look like we've bugged this out just a little bit,
There's 18
but
seconds
I'll
left.
skip ahead when I'm allowed to.
Guys, what do you think?
Muggsy being so small must have typical 80s camera work. Yeah, it's all. It's the extra immersion. The extra immersion. We didn't know about these things called camera angles. It's just there's a person. Camera. That's it. That is it. It's weird. It's focusing on it. It's not focusing on the guy who has the ball. Now it is. 12 seconds. There's the 3. Bounces out. Malone on the rebound. They have to go for the 3 again. This one's up. Doesn't fall. Sampson comes up with it, and that should do it. That should do it. Muggsy Bogues back to the line. All 5'3" of them. God bless Muggsy Bogues. God damn. It's just the best. 3-point lead. He hits this, and the Rockets win here in Dallas.
So the first one drops.
There's the first.
Gives them a 4-point cushion.
I know I'm not the
Mark
first
Price coming on, but it's too little too late.
Bogues plays with is incredible. We can go up against bigger guys because he's willing to just put in the work and outwork them.
Yeah, so some of the guys will have like player models and stuff like that are accurate. Like sometimes it'll be from a different point in their career. That 3 is off, and that is it.
Pulling it out for the W.
Houston
For us to say goodbye.
silences the crowd in Dallas. They walk away with the win.
Conference playoffs. For Mike Fratello, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge.
And they get that much closer to their first Western Conference Finals appearance since you guys took over. Beautiful stuff. Hot Rod, 20 points, led the way. Now see, Soft Drink, you and I are always on the same page with this stuff. I agree. It would be nice over the years, like Patrick Ewing for example, right? For example, we look at Patrick Ewing. Right. We get Patrick Ewing in, let's say, 1989. Like, you get Patrick Ewing, 1989. Dude's fucking shredded for a guy his size. Even that, actually, is looking kind of lean there. But then you get Patrick Ewing in, like, 1999. And, you know, the man's seen some shit. You know, he's been through some stuff at that point. Like, yeah. Like, naturally, you should have those kind of changes as well, not just with like the physical appearance, you know. But yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Let's make a sports game. We really should. It would be the nerdiest game of all time in terms of like the attention to detail. It would take 12 years to make. But boy, would it be worth it. Yes, it does have its own version of Ultimate Team called My Team. Every sports game has an Ultimate Team. Come on now. Let's see for you guys. 30 points for Ewing. 21 rebounds from Ralph Sampson. The big men continue to dominate, as they should, based on the era. So it is a 3-1 series lead for the Rockets, 1 win away from a potential showdown against Michael Jordan and the Clippers. Every series right now at a 2-1 split, with the exception of yours, because obviously it takes the lead here. So here we go. Is this it? Will you be able to dispatch of the Mavericks and move on to the Western Conference Final? So far, so good in this game. That's what happens when you're on the Knicks. Fair. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the Western Conference Finals. Your Houston Rockets. 112-98 over the Dallas Mavericks. 35 points, 22 rebounds from Patrick Ewing, 26 points from Chris Mullin. And the Rockets are the first team to punch their ticket to the conference final. Let's get an updated look. We can take a look at the league leaders, but look at this. Patrick Ewing. Good Lord. Patrick Ewing. He and Sampson are just dominating. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable just how good they have been. And so far in the playoffs, you would have seen it. Okay, well, if you have to play the Clippers, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Jordan versus Ewing would be a hell of a showdown now, wouldn't it? That would be one hell of a showdown. I don't want to talk about it, Brad. Yep, that look on your face is the look I had when we lost to the Pistons again. So let's find out. And again, for anyone who plays other sports games, yeah, if you just want to take control and see what happens in this game, you can indeed do that. How nice is that? You're not just locked to only looking at your team. The Clippers are in LA. They moved over from San Diego, and we didn't keep them there. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Will Jordan and the Clippers punch their ticket to play you guys in the conference final? Portland putting up a damn good fight, but in the end, it's not enough. Jordan versus Ewing, Clippers versus Rockets. 50 points. 39 from Jeff Ruland. It's Clippers and Rockets, the battle of 1 versus 2. As the Boston Celtics, moving on. They've really struggled the past couple years. We got a hell of a showdown between the Bulls and the Pistons. We'll simulate the round. And the Bulls knock out the defending champs. So, comes down to Boston, Chicago, LA, and Houston. Let's take a look at these 4 teams on the eastern side. Let's see what we got. Booze Bossman. Thank you for the 2 months. How are you? Thank you for using that Prime. Let's take a look at this, though, before we forget. So the Bulls, of course, with Olajuwon, who was dealing with back spasms. They also have Xavier McDaniel, Jack Sikma, after the trade with us earlier this season. John Bagley, Will Carr, who's generated. Yeah, that's... They got Olajuwon. The Celtics, though, still have a 31-year-old Larry Bird. Kevin McHale's still there. And Kevin Willis, who you guys traded to them earlier this season for Muggsy Bogues. They also have Dennis Johnson, Jay Humphreys, John Sundvold. It's a pretty damn good Celtics team. Definitely revitalized after that Willis trade. So, don't know who will make it out of the East, but for now, we focus on the West. You guys are playing the Clippers, who look like this. Michael frickin' Jordan. James Worthy, who transfers over from the Lakers. Jeff Ruland. If you had an AI... look, here's the thing. I don't mind NASCAR, I'll be honest. But in terms of the stereotype of what a NASCAR driver in the 80s or 90s would look like, if you had an AI generate what that person would look like, Jeff Ruland. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, SRB, what's happening? Indeed. They also have Michael Cooper, Michael Cage, and Kobe Thurman up there as well. So here we go. We will put a prediction up. I'm intrigued. It was 70-30 in favor of Houston last time, but what will it be this time? Rockets, Clippers. Rockets and Clippers. I said look like, not have the physical standard or attributes of, because yes, he would be too tall to fit in that car. So here we go. Clippers, Rockets, Jordan versus Ewing. Let's see what happens. Game number 1. Let's see how this goes. Clippers with home court, of course, as the number 1 seed. Strong start for the Rockets, though. Very strong start for the Rockets. 122 to 105. The Rockets beat the Clippers in game 1 off of 2 30-point performances, 1 from Ewing and 1 from Mullen. 21 points for Ralph Sampson as well. The big 3 showing up yet again. Jordan held to 24 points after putting up 50 on the Blazers. 21 from Worthy. And Rulin really struggled too. You guys might have the right matchup to shut them down. That's a huge game 1 victory. Also, the Bulls beating the Celtics by 30 in game 1. So much for that renaissance. It's game number 2. Western Conference Final. Much, much better start from the Clippers in this one. They're up by 20 approaching halftime. It appears as though Jordan and the Clippers had an off game because the Clippers dominate game 2, 115 to 86. Oh no. Did he get hurt? Sampson leading the way. Did Patrick Ewing get hurt? He played just 22 minutes. He fouled out. Patrick Ewing fouled out 22 minutes into the game. And from there, it got even worse. That is that team without Patrick Ewing. 35 from Jordan, 33 from Worthy. Oof. Can't have that happen. The Celtics, by the way, take game 2 by 1 point, 105 to 104. We go to game 3. Game number 3. 2 convincing wins, 1 for each side so far. Rockets doing well here, but the Clippers trying to stay in striking distance. We are late in the 4th. And it looks like we don't need to jump in. The Rockets are going to take game 2, or game 3, excuse me, now up 2-1, 110 to 98. With 54 points and just 1 foul from Patrick Ewing. 54 points, 20 rebounds. Oh my God. He was pretty motivated to do well in that game, don't you think? Jordan dropped 27. He had 24 from Jeff Rulin. James Worthy, not nearly as strong of a game points-wise. 3 of 12 from the floor. Oof. Yeah, James Worthy had an off game, and Patrick Ewing didn't foul out. Good Lord. Boston wins another one, again by just 1 point, after losing game 1 by 30. They win at 99 to 98. Celtics up 2-1 on the Bulls. It's game 4. Biggest game in the history of the Houston Rockets right here. At least in this reality. Let's see what happens. Home court. Will we see another strong pushback from the Clippers? So far, the answer is yes. Much better defensive performances here, but unfortunately, the Clippers are going to run away with it. No reason to jump in and watch. It's over. 114 to 96. And this series is tied at 2 apiece. And I think Ewing fouled out again. Sampson fouled out right at the end of the game. Mullen with 28 points. And indeed, Patrick, he fouled out in 14 minutes. Ewing fouls out in 14 minutes. That has to be the fastest I've ever seen someone foul out. And without him, you can't stop him. I didn't notice Jordan Rulin fouled out in the last game. 32 points for Jordan. He fouled out, as did James Worthy in this game, but they led the way. The damage was already done. What the fuck? Damn. There have been some consistent foul issues. Time to adjust the rules in the offseason and remove fouls. It's the 80s. I didn't know they called fouls. Jordan spent half of The Last Dance complaining about the fact that they never called fouls. That's why he got jacked. Like, horrifically unrealistic 2K. Unrealistic. But there we go. 2-2 split now in this unbelievable Western Conference final. The Bulls win game 4 by 4 to tie that up at 2 apiece as well. All right. Game 5. Massive, massive moment for these two teams. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Strong start for the Rockets. They are running away with it. 113 to 96. Again, no reason to jump in. And the Rockets are 1 win away from the NBA final off of a 33-point, 13-rebound performance from Patrick Ewing, who did not foul out. Mullen with 23 points. Even Reed up to 21. Sampson did foul out for the record with 6, hence the 31 minutes. Reed actually didn't, but there you go. Ewing stays in. Damage done. 39 points from MJ on the other side, but he did foul out. Jeff Ruland also fouled out after 16 minutes. So clearly, James Worthy also fouled out after 18 minutes. So clearly, the gameplay style that they've assigned to the 80s of just play hard in the paint, it leads to a lot of fouls and a lot of guys fouling out. Boston, 1 win away after their most convincing win of the series. Will it be the Rockets on the other side? Game 6. Here we go. The Bulls did force game 7. 93 for the Celtics, 95 for the Bulls. So here we go. Here we go. Game 6. Are you guys moving on to the, not even to the Western Conference Final, through the Clippers in the Western Conference Final, all the way to the NBA Final? A couple of years off schedule from when the Rockets went there IRL. Close one. Close one. Up by 10 with 4 minutes. It's up by 10 with 1:07 to go. Or excuse me, with 2:42 to go. You have 107 points. I'm losing my mind. Clearly, from the looks of it, barring an absolutely horrific collapse, the Houston Rockets, as predicted, are going to the NBA Final. Here's Jordan. Down low for Rulin. Can't get it to fall over Sampson. Actually, over Ewing, who gets the rebound.
Here's Reed.
Reed on the drive. Can't get it to fall. Cooper on the rebound.
How he challenged the shot. That takes some guts near the hoop.
Up by 10. Just over 2 minutes to go. It's Cooper. Now over to Jordan. MJ on the drive. Holy shit, is he fast. MJ, hop step, gets it to go. Horrible defense. In fairness, you know, this Jordan model does look younger. I don't know how he looks as it ages on and as the look around the league changes.
Taking the onus on himself to make something happen.
Still up by 8. 2 minutes left. Muggsy slowing it down. Let's get arrested together and be cell buddies. Like, if you get arrested, can you dictate who you sell with, though? Patrick Ewing. Right over Jeff Ruland.
It's obvious he's going to continue to attack on offense so this lead can expand.
Here comes MJ again. High socks and all. Kicks out to Garrett. As MJ open again, goes to the other side for Cooper. Now for Jordan. Shot clock's getting low. 5 seconds. Jordan, pull up, jumper, doesn't get it to fall. Pippen on the rebound. Hughes, this is 1988. Inside for Ewing. That's it. Patrick Ewing makes it look easy. The Houston Rockets are going to the NBA final. And a chance in this first round. Oh, Michael Jordan. Jesus Christ. The first round of Toogie versus Twitch chat taking place in the earliest era you can. You guys win that title. We're moving on to the Jordan era and starting fresh in 1991. Here's Patrick Ewing again. He is just destroying Jeff Rulin. Absolutely destroying Jeff Rulin. 50 seconds to go, up by 12. Here's Jordan. That spin move was disgusting. All right. Well, we haven't really gotten to see the in-game, overpowered nature of MJ. We've gotten to see it from Ewing. They're still not up. Jeff Rulin, you might as well retire. As long as Patrick Ewing's here, you might as well retire. You might as well.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Cooper.
Here's Michael Cooper. Oh my God. He just got stiff-armed to the floor. Absolutely stiff-armed to the floor by Patrick Ewing. He was having none of that shit. He was having none of it. Whew. No, you will not be the Bulls in the Jordan era. Neither will I. The problem is for you, chat, since you picked the Western Conference in the 83 sim, that means you picked the Eastern Conference in the 91 because we're alternating, so you get to deal with Michael Jordan in the East. Have fun. There's your spoiler alert. Rulin's sitting down. He's done. He's done. Stop Washington Generals for Rulin. I mean, how many guys in the 80s and 90s do you think just got tired of dealing with the superstars? Just like, all right, fuck this, I'm out. Bunny, take it easy. Final 20 seconds of the Western Conference Finals. The Houston Rockets. Oh my God, I thought he was just going to go for it. The Houston Rockets move on to play either the Boston Celtics with Larry Bird or Hakeem Olajuwon's Chicago Bulls. But there it is. Unreal. I told you guys with that roster. I told you. It was the best decision you could have ever made, making that trade with the Celtics to allow Patrick Ewing into that primary five. Western Conference champs, the Houston Rockets. And yeah, you guys know what the Celtics and Bulls both look like.
It's going to take everything they have to accomplish their own.
Can Patrick Ewing and company get it done? They are 4 wins away. Or will we get the unbelievable showdown of Olajuwon against Ewing? That is the question. Also, I love that Clark Kellogg's on the call when he's in the game. 41-11 for Ewing in that game. God damn. The second best performance of his career behind that Snickers commercial. Mullen with 25, Sampson with 24. 42 points in defeat for MJ. Nobody else really showed up like they needed to. And I'm going to guess James Worthy fouled out early. You can't have James Worthy, MJ's Batman on the Clippers, foul out that early and make it work. The Rockets moving on to the NBA final. But will it be Chicago or Boston? Let's find out. Will it be Chicago or will it be Boston? Chicago led the whole way up until that third quarter, and the Celtics look like they're gonna get it done in the final 2 minutes. It looks like it will be Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics taking care of Olajuwon and the Bulls. Unless there's an unbelievable comeback. Olajuwon's going to make something happen fast. And the youngster Carr gets bodied by Larry Bird. And that's a Chicago turnover. One more ride for the Boston Celtics, who looked dead in the water 2 years ago. They really started to struggle. But it is the trade. What a fucking play. Bird almost came down with that. You guys did make a gigantic trade with the Celtics. So the storyline is there.
Puts it up from 17. And Willis pulls it down.
Willis on the rebound. So of all the teams to face in the final, it's pretty perfect that it is the Celtics. Here's Larry Bird. Only 31 years old right now.
Bird outside, just 4 to shoot.
We'll see what Bird can do here. Missed it. 120 away, but you guys get a preview look at the Celtics. What a read by Willis.
What a game and moment for these guys.
Boston and Houston, 1988 final. Where again, if you guys win, that's it. For round one. Block there. Down by 14. You need to just start putting up prayer threes. And one would have worked, but didn't fall. Honestly, I just wanted to see what Chicago's look was. That's part of the fun, honestly. But I wanted to see what that was going to look like. Old Chicago Stadium still.
And he makes the first. Some changes for Chicago. Hunter's checked in for Olajuwon.
Old Chicago Stadium's real quiet right about now. Real quiet.
And Richardson drops them both.
Nick, what's going on? It's going pretty good, man. I'm having a blast with this so far. A little attention to details. The old Mountain Dew ads. Like, everything's just big chef's kiss.
Pass to Polonese. That's in.
Polonese right in his face. My God. Well, we know that Chicago is out, but now we also know that the Celtics show no mercy. Larry Bird was the inspiration for the Karate Kid. You heard it here first. Except the reality where, of course, Cobra Kai wins. Jumper by Carr there. The final 12 seconds. I'm sorry for Sigma. I mean, not really. I traded you to Chicago. You got a couple rounds deeper than you would have in Indiana, but what are you going to do? That's it. The Boston Celtics will meet the Houston Rockets in the NBA Finals. We shall see. Two damn good teams going head to head. The 80s were the sick ads. I know it would have been Budweiser ads everywhere too.
Is a big victory of its own. No matter how this season ends, it's been a successful one for them.
Yeah, sometimes the celebration animations still glitch out from the looks of it. Good to know. On PS5 or Xbox. I am on Xbox Series X. Wow, Celtics won even though Humphries was their leading scorer. Man, they somehow were able to win even though their team didn't put up the strongest performance. But there it is. Celtics and Rockets in the final. This could be the beginning of the end. Could be.